Jared grimaced, looking at Ernie. Man, looks like they got you 3 times. I'm fine, Ernie grumbled and slunk back to the compound. In the shadows of the doorway, Tim's white teeth glowed as he grinned, but he said, What? It's not funny. I'm not laughing. Ernie walked by without saying anything and slammed open the screen door of the kitchen. Cupid, never without his lip ring and beanie, was peeling potatoes, and he cut raw onion for Ernie to press onto the red, swelling bumps. Thanks, brother, Ernie said. No problem, said Cupid, straight-faced, but then he smiled. Looks like a hickey. Whatever, Ernie said, smirking. He checked himself out in the window glass and pretended it was a hickey. Ernie was in a state of familiar turmoil just then. He barely had one full thought. It was just loops and spirals and falling stars of anger, hatred, embarrassment, and desire. And it was all about Tim. Ernie had set out to do something helpful. As usual, it turned into Tim making fun of him. Who was Tim anyway? Tim's uncles owned this place, and their nephew just lived here, a freeloader. But whenever Ernie truly considered this, he got moody, because in this world, real estate did put Tim in charge, even if he hadn't earned it. Sometimes, when reality hit Ernie like it did now, he couldn't move. He just stared at the kitchen floor, knowing how weird he looked, like someone pulled the plug on him for a 10-minute spell. When it was done, he was about to drag his sorry ass, his sweaty, gleaming tattooed chest, his long and knotted hair, his self, his body, to his bed. He had no energy for much else. But that's when she showed up. Ernie saw the silver super-dented minivan bumping up the long driveway like a small-town hearse. Out popped an uptight couple. Or maybe they only seemed uptight because they were upset about what they were doing. Ernie would later find out this was a half-sister who'd been taking care of the girl since the death of their grandma Inez. The girl lived with her grandmother for years. But the half-sister was now getting married to a Mexican cowboy from Ojinaga, a very Catholic man, very strict, very boring, and there was no room for the girl in their double-wide, which seemed to be an unchristian idea, having no room for the girl. But here they were anyway, and they sure seemed steadfast in their decision to hand her over. The cowboy had a big mustache and pleated jeans. The couple waited in the dirt drive until finally the back door of the van slid open and Coral came out. Everyone who lived on the compound was watching from their bedrooms or from the garage, wherever they found themselves. In fact, Holiday Ray was smoking at his window, and he said to Stacy, still lounging in their bed, "Incoming." The couple would rehash that moment years later, trying to understand everything. But while it was happening, Ray didn't think for one hot second this teenager could affect their lives. Sure, maybe other lives, just not the lives of Ray and Stacy. He was more interested in lighting another cigarette. "Come here, baby," Stacy said, more interested in Ray. The girl held her late grandma's white valise, the case gone creamy yellow in spots, the handle tarnished, as well as a Discman with giant headphones and a trash bag that looked stuffed full of clothes. The couple talked to Tim, who put on his welcome to my world face. But the girl didn't speak. She didn't say one word. The foursome stood under the live oak, arms folded, rocking back and forth on heels, and the cowboy handed Tim an envelope. From where Ernie was standing, spying from the kitchen door, the girl didn't look like the kids who landed here after binges or stints on the streets in Albuquerque or Dallas, or after they were booted from their group home or got out on bond. With her not short, not long, greasy blonde hair, and her black socks in the middle of summer, those blue eyes, her Hanes t-shirt and cut-off black jeans shorts. She could have been 12 and really big for her age, or 22 and she simply hadn't gotten wrecked by life yet. In reality, she was 17. She wasn't a clump of mud. Light pulsated through her the way it did through a yucca blossom or a spider's egg sac. Through the cellulose material. Maybe Ernie wanted her to look afraid, and she didn't.